Hey everyone, thanks a lot for joining in for another live stream from me. And I have a special guest with me, as you can see right over here. On that corner, we have Arsalan Khattak Dave, popularly known as with us. So I hope you all are doing well and staying safe at your end. Let me know if you are able to hear me properly. Maybe Arsalan, you can say hello to our audience.
Hey everyone, I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, please let us know if we are audible or not. And after that, we can like kickstart this session. I can see people writing in mouse click plus typing keyboard. Yes, that was from my end. All right, Siddharth wearing it. What am I wearing? I'm wearing an MLH T-shirt right now. It's from Major League Hacking, the 2020 season T-shirt. So let us know if we are properly audible to you, and you all can see the screen. You all can see us. Like you can see me and Arslan together, and then maybe we can start this live stream. Let's have a look. Meanwhile, let us know, Arslan, how are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. Just adding some good guides to my scene to make it look awesome.
Definitely. And I can see people are very much excited about today's topic of discussion. It's not a discussion, rather we can call it, as a live application form. See, personally, to be very honest, I haven't, opened the MLH Fellowship application even once in like so far, and I haven't gone across any of the programs which they are offering. I am aware about the programs, but I haven't, checked them out by going in the deep and checking the website, going through the application form. And I personally did not had any plans to apply for the same. But when you came up, we can do something like that, I really thought, and there are many people who might be looking for such sessions where they can understand the flow, and you are like one of the person who is already part of MLH Fellowship. You have been a fellow, you are a team lead right now, so maybe we can gain some insights from your experience out there. Yes.
Sure.
All right, so I can see Vincent and other people are able to hear us very like in a clear way. Also, let us know if there are any screen freeze or something like before. We had some issues, but I hope there is not any such issues tonight. So let us know that as well if you are able to see us in a very good way, or are there any screen freezes. Do let us know that as well. And without wasting much of our time and others' time, right over here, Aslan, maybe do you think we should start with the fellowship website? What do you think? Do you want to give some basic idea on what we are going to do?
Sure. So basically, if you just join, in case you're wondering what exactly are we going to do, so we will be going through the application of MLH Fellowship, and we are going to fill a dummy application, and the idea is to teach you how exactly can you fill the application. So I actually have seen a lot of applications. I have evaluated a lot of applications, and there I see a lot of mistakes. So the point of this session is to teach you how can you actually fill the application and avoid those mistakes which you are not supposed to do. So so that you can so that your application can stand out from rest of the applicants. So that's the point of this session. So we will be filling the application and discussing what to do and what not to do. So like the do's and don't. And we in this session we will be filling that application.
Awesome, that sounds like amazing thing. I've already opened the website as you all can see. So here it is written where technologists come to level up, and that's a great idea and a thought as well, because I have seen many of my friends getting into MLH Fellowship and they are like doing wonders. So the sole motto of MLH Fellowship coming up was to give remote internship as an alternative for all the aspiring technologies, and they can directly spend their 12 weeks building some awesome skills by collaborating with other people, working in teams, and working on some real world projects. So that was the entire idea, and that's like an awesome initiative which MLH came up with. And they recently announced another program as well.
Yeah. So before we actually dive into the application, I want to talk about these different programs that are available, because I know a lot of the people there are confused about what exactly are these programs, and what exactly is the difference between these programs. So, uh, yeah, here so we have like these three programs mentioned here: the open source, software engineering, and product engineering. Here. So. There was one other track available. I guess they replaced that with the product engineering tab.
Yeah.
Product engineering. I forgot its name. What was that? But that was for the beginner. Uh, so initially, when fellowship was announced, like back in summers 2020, there was just one track that was open source, and
Mm-hmm.
in this open source track, so you have the choice to you can select any one of these. It's up to you which one you want to get into. Uh,
All right.
so talking about the difference and which one is good for you. So the open source track is the first track that was like when in summers 2020, when it was the first batch of fellowship. Open
All
source
right.
track was the only track that was there. So in the open source track, your job is to contribute to open source programs. Like for example, if you are a JavaScript developer,
Mm-hmm.
some of the projects I can talk about, like some of the projects that are there are React, Jest, Next.js, Amplify, AWS Amplify, Square.js. So these are some of the projects. So like there are like many open source projects available, and your job as an open source contributor in this track is to contribute to any one of these. Now,
Mm-hmm.
any one of these. What I mean by any one of these is that you will not get a chance to select any one of these. Instead, you will be assigned to any one of these. So during those 12 months, during those 12 weeks of fellowship, you will be working on any one of the project. Like let's say AWS Amplify. So you will be contributing to AWS Amplify by fixing bugs, introducing new issues, etc. And you will be actually working with the maintainers of AWS Amplify or
All
whatever
right.
project you're working on. So there will be like meetings with the maintainers. You also have you not just only have the maintainers, but you also have the mentors there available. So you can from whom you can get guidance. You can ask them question if you're stuck. So open source track is all about contributing to open source projects. So there will be one project to which you are supposed to contribute. Uh, and then comes the externship track. So like this time there is software engineering and product engineering. So the product engineering
Yeah.
track is announced this time. It was not available in the last track. There was one other track which was for the beginner. I
Mm-hmm.
forgot its name. I'm not sure what was that, but that was for the beginner, where you
Okay.
were supposed to do hackathons. Like there was like around 5 to 6 hackathons, and that was for beginners who are looking to build up their portfolio by working on different projects. But
All
since
right.
that's not mentioned here, so let's not talk about that. So here these two are externship track. This product engineering is I guess this is specifically for US applicants right now. I'm
Okay.
exactly not sure because this is pretty new. Uh, and also this is from Facebook. As MLH also tweeted about this, so you
Yes.
can get an idea from that. And there is this then come this second one, which is software engineering. So this is also an externship, and this was initially for US applicants only when it was announced first time. That was
Mm-hmm.
in batch one. But then from batch two, it was open for other countries as well, especially for India.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're somewhere, if you're someone who lives outside US, you can definitely apply to that. And in this track, in the software engineering track, you will be paired with with a company with a company or an organization, and you will be working for them. You will be working for one of their projects. So
All right.
that will be like it's like MLH is going to connect you with an actual company, and you're going to work with that company. So that is the main difference. So like I'm not exactly sure about product engineering because that's pretty new, but I feel like software engineering and you can put these into two categories. The
Mm-hmm.
one you can put open source into one, and then the software engineering and product engineering into the another one. So that's the
All right.
basic difference. So if you are interested in open source track. If you're interested in open source contribution and if you just love the open source community, I recommend you to apply for the open source track.
All right, sounds good. And also, I can see one more question from the chat, which is asked by Mukul. He's asking like, what should be the difficulty level of sample code?
So this is actually like so like the code sample that's submit there. So there are a lot of things that we consider while checking the code. So like it's not about difficulty. It's about like how you actually write the code. And I mean the project you submit, it can be as simple as like let's say a to-do application. It can be as simple as that. But at the end of the day, it depends on a few things. Like for example, also like I'm not saying that like to-do application are like you can write a to-do application in like few lines, like one like 10 to 20 lines. I'm not saying that you should submit something like that. It should definitely be something which can help us to get an idea of like how exactly you can write code. Something where you at least do your where you at least do the refactoring at least one time. So like it should be something that has like at least 4 to 5 different files, the like the JavaScript files or the Python files. So and other than that, like there are again different things that we considered. Make sure that you follow the open source practices. That's one of the things that you should definitely consider while submitting your application. So make sure that you submit your make sure you pick a project, make sure you pick the code sample that you have, that you think that's the best among others, and that has at least you have followed the open source practices in that code sample. So that's one of advice I can give you.
Definitely, like these were some great insights, because I personally wasn't knowing anything about it, and now I am like aware about what are the different tracks, where one should go, what are the practices one should follow, and what are the requirements as well at the same time. And definitely, see, I am not at all planning to apply for MLH Fellowship as of now, because me personally, I need to work around different things before I actually apply for the same. And as you said, Arsalan, as well, that you need to be aware about different practices, and at the same time you need to be contributing to open source that much, and I am not getting enough time for the same. But I'll definitely have this thing in my mind that maybe after a few months, or maybe next year, I'll apply for the same, so I can work around different things till that time, and then maybe I can think of applying the same. But for tonight, maybe we can start submitting a dummy project, dummy application, checking out different text fields which there are in application. We can discuss more on that, what are the ways an applicant can work around by filling those areas, and how they can turn around their application as a good application while applying, and increase their chances of selection. So maybe we can work and discuss around that as well. What do you think?
Yeah, sure. And before we get into that, so Sanskriti just asked a question. The beginner one had open source Explorer extension program. So yeah, there was one other track which I just mentioned that I forgot its name. It's Explorer. So I'm not sure why it's not here. I guess they removed it. But yeah, the beginner was the Explorer program.
All right, I see. No worries. So what do you think? We should go ahead with the open source track. What do you think?
Yeah, so like yes, we can go with the open source track, and the reason for that is like the software engineering track and the production engineering track is not accessible to everyone. Like there are some restriction. I mean, like for the product engineering, I guess as I said before, I guess they are only available for US applicants, and then the software engineering, that is available for everyone, but then that depends on a company as well. But the open source track, that's available for everyone. So like no matter wherever you, what part of the world you live, you can apply for that. So since that's accessible to everyone, so we can go with that one.
Awesome. So let's start with that. I can see upcoming batches. So would you like to tell more about batches? How does that work, and what is the perfect time for apply to a particular batch?
Yeah. So there are different batches, like in when it started in summer. So like each batch is for 3 weeks, three weeks, which is 12 months. So like that 12 months of time that you spend, so you actually spend a whole batch in the fellowship. So once you're selected, you will be spending one whole batch. So
Hmm.
the batch 2 just ended. Like it has its graduation ceremony this Monday.
Hmm.
And if you are interested, you can also check its graduation ceremony on Twitch, MLH YouTube channel. So the next batch is going to start from June 6th, and it will be from June 6th to August 30. So that will be the time period for the next batch, and that's the summer batch. And then after that batch, so like in each batch, new applicants come, new application arrives, new applicants join, and
Mm-hmm.
new projects new projects come in, and like so each batch is like each semester that you spend in your campus or university. So that's something like that.
All right, got it. So maybe we can start with batch 3. What do you think?
Yeah, sure. We can go with that. It's so both are exactly same.
Hmm.
It's just that there will be just one option to like which
Yeah.
batch you are going to apply. So you will just like mention it's batch here for rest of like everything else will be the same. So no matter which batch we go for, the questions will be same.
All right. And for all the people watching right now, you can hear Arsalan from the Zoom screen which I'm using, and I just got a pop-up message over there that you need to upgrade your Zoom screen. Only 10 minutes remaining. So let's talk till 10 minutes, and then maybe I can ask Arsalan to rejoin. So sorry for that, but this is all type of jugaad which we are doing.
I actually have a premium Zoom account, so maybe we can use that one.
All right. So you can share the link with me, maybe in the Zoom chat.
Yep. So do you want to continue with this one and wait for it to end, or how do you want to proceed?
I guess you can just share with me right away, and then I can jump onto that particular link, and maybe I can share that then. It
Okay,
won't
so
take much
for
time.
that I have to leave this meeting so that I can generate a new meeting from my account.
No worries. You can feel free to do that, and yes, just do
Okay.
it. And maybe you can share the link, Zoom link, with me on Twitter DM.
All right. Sure.
All right.
So let's do
Meanwhile,
that so
I'll
that we
entertain our audience.
all right.
Alright, so I'll just stop sharing as of now so that I can go to the Zoom back again. And just a minute, folks. You know, this happens. Before this live stream as well, I was wondering how can I bring Arsalan, share the screen with both of you all. Like, I can share my screen on the stream, I can share my screen to him, and there are like multiple things going around backstage. Behind the scenes is like definitely a worst thing to do, but we all are trying our best, so that's the case. And meanwhile, let just give me a minute, and I'll work around different things and come back later stronger. I would just require 5 minutes, so if you can give me that, that can be like awesome. Meanwhile, you can introduce yourself in the chat. What are you looking for out of this live stream? And if you have any questions, feel free to drop those questions into the chat. That would be like awesome. And let's have a look. Do show GitHub Campus Expert flag for just a second. Yes, Arslan will do that. Will surely bring that flag from him. All right. Just a minute. I'm getting to my Twitter. Okay, I got the link. I'm joining from there. And just a minute. Thanks a lot for bearing with us. Really appreciate that. And hey Arsalan. Hi Arsalan, are you able to hear me?
Just made you the host, so you'll be able to.
Share my screen, right? Alright, I'll do that right away.
Yes.
Just give me a minute. And all our viewers, please let me know if you are able to hear Arsalan. Alright, let me know if you are able to see my screen, Arsalan.
Yes, I am.
Alright, back on track, everyone. It feels so good when you solve a technical problem. And I'm feeling relaxed and relieved right now. Please support me and make me more relieved by telling me that you are able to hear both of us and able to see the screen. Any upcoming beginner friendly hackathon? We'll talk about that for sure. Shubham is asking me to dance. Show some. I'll definitely do that. We'll have a separate live stream for that. I'll invite everyone into that, including you, Shubham, and we will all dance together and enjoy our time. Yes, we are able to hear both of you. Awesome, awesome. Yes, Arsenal.
Yeah. Let's continue.
Sure thing. All right. So maybe I can click on next page. You can have a 30 to 40 minutes separate to complete this, because this is essentially you're not doing this just to time pass, not just for that. Be serious. Have a proper mindset before applying.
Yeah. So make sure that you when you're applying for MLH Fellowship, make sure that you actually spend that much time on the application. If you spend like 5 to 10 minutes, I can guarantee you that you will be instantly rejected if you just spend 10 minutes on the application. And I suggest you do not even bother to apply if you're going to spend 10 minutes. So I mean to say if you're thinking to apply, definitely put some efforts when applying, because it doesn't make sense if you want to apply and then you just spend 10 minutes on the application. I know the application is there are too many questions, but those questions are there for a reason, and the reason is to gauge what kind of applicant are you, how can you fit into the MLH Fellowship culture. So make sure that you give as much details as possible in the application form.
Sounds good. So this is basically a program qualification confirmation. So I am over 18. Yes, I do not reside in a country embargoed by US. Maybe some restrictions, but there is no as such in India. And what else? Time commitment. I am able to commit the required hours per week to the program. What are typical hours which we need to give?
So there are two types. One is so there are two types of fellow, two types of commitment. One is full time, and the other one is part time. So being a full time, you are supposed to commit 40 hours per week, and being a part time, you're supposed to commit 20 hours per week.
I see. All right, I can do that. Okay, let's talk about communication.
And,
I'm proficient in English.
Another thing is about this time commitment is that so in the fellowship you have different sessions, you have different events, you have different you even have these fun activities. So those 20 hours or those 40 hours, those fun activities or those meetings or those sessions, that is also counted in those 40 hours or in those 20 hours. So it's not that you're going to spend those 20 hours those 40 hours just on coding. Definitely those fun activities or those stand-up meetings, everything that you do inside the fellowship, that is counted in that time.
Sure thing, got it. Alright, next is coding experience. I have done coding since quite a long time. I have not done coding since quite a long time now. I'm not that much proficient enough, but yes, I know few languages like C, C++, Java, Python, so maybe I can consider this thing because I'm just filling a dummy application as of now. But if you are aware about any one programming language and very proficient in that, or maybe you know the basics and you have made various projects, you can opt in for this as well. I have regular access to quiet workspace for meetings and coding. Like right now I'm streaming, so I hope that's comfortable. Set up the regular. Okay, done. All right, so let's get to the next page. Alright, first name, last name, email address. Whoops, let me just fill that up quickly. I don't want to waste much time in this section. Alright. You must share at least one of the listed items with us. Alright, any one or everything? Is it like, what do you mean? At least one, right?
So yeah, but I suggest you to add as much as possible when you are actually filling the application. Like for now, we can just do it with anyone, but when you are actually applying for this, I recommend you to add all of these, so that will eventually help you in your application.
All right.
Because like if you add all of these, we will have more details about you, and when we have more details about you, we will be able to gauge you more perfectly. So that's why I recommend you to like add your resume, get a profile, LinkedIn profile, personal portfolio if you have like all of these.
Absolutely, that is really, because if there is an option to add something, definitely go and add it, because they have kept these things for some reasons. So do not skip any of them and apply, and just upload everything: your resume, GitHub, link, and portfolio. As of now, I'm just adding my GitHub and not anything else, but you have to do everything. Alright, now comes the program which I'm selecting. So currently we are opting for open source, and we'll do that as well. Term. Okay, here comes the summer 2021 or fall. So I'll pick summer as of now. You can pick any of your, anything which suits your convenience. Alright, which open source fellowship track would you like to be considered for? So are there any limitation, like I can choose only out of these four, or maybe other as well?
So yeah, so let me explain this thing. So basically there are like different pods, and what I mean by pods is like there are 10 to 12, there are different groups of students that range from 10 to 12 students, and each pod has a specific language. Like for example, this time my pod was a JavaScript pod, and what I mean by that is like every person in my pod was supposed to work on a JavaScript pod, and they were the people who know JavaScript. So like we have in the fellowship, we have a JavaScript pod, we have Python pods, we have Julia, we have MLs, machine learning. So like we have these pods based on the languages. So if you're someone that is interested into Python web-based, so you can go for the second option. If you're someone like me, you can go for the first option. So depending on the on your language that you want to work on, or the project that you want to work on, if you're interested in JavaScript project, you can go for JavaScript. If you're interested in Python, you can go for that.
All right. So as of now, I guess the only thing which is familiar to me right now is Python Web. Maybe there's also a question in the chat. Python Web, is that Django? So I'm not sure, because I haven't. Yes, maybe Arsalan can answer the same.
So that is not compulsory. That might happen, but that also might not happen. So again, if you go for Python Web, then you will be considered for any one of the Python Python web-based project, web-based open source projects. So like are the open source projects that are there, like are the open source web-based project that is in the fellowship, so you will be considered for any one of that. It's I don't think we had a Django. We had Flask, but I'm not sure about Django. I mean, like there are tons of open source projects for every batch, and it's kind of hard to keep track of everyone. So I didn't see Django, but I did saw Flask.
All right, got it. No worries. And also there's one more question. Part-time program is for how many months? I guess month is like similar, but the hours reduces, is it?
Yeah, exactly. The time period is same. It's 12 weeks, but it's just the hours
30
per week, which is either 40 or 20.
All right, got it. And Arsalan, which track you are from?
So I got into the fellowship. I'm not sure if you're asking as a fellow or as a team lead, but if you're asking as a fellow, So when I got into the fellowship, it was the first batch, and that time it was just open source pod. So as a fellow, I spent my time in the open source pod. As a team lead, I did spend my time in both pods, in the open source as well as in the Explorer pod.
All right. I have selected the country. I have selected I'm citizen.
Now, imagine filling this dummy application and then actually getting an invitation for interview.
I'm not going to submit it. I do not want to die as of now. I do not want to, get into that hole because I know myself better than anyone else. I'm not going to submit it for sure. But if that happens, that's like, I'm the luckiest person in this world then. All right. Time commitment. All right, here it comes. Okay, so as you can see over here, part-time stands for 25 hours per week and full-time stands for 35 hours per week. I'll go with part-time.
Yeah, so I guess they slightly changed that hours from 20 to 25 and from 40 to 35. And so here are the different time period. So you have to select the one which you think is more accessible to you. So like your stand-up meeting. So like there are stand-up meeting every single day. And your stand-up meeting will be between one of that time that you select. So like, for example, if you go with the first one, that is 10:30 a.m. to 1:30. So your stand-up meeting will be somewhere between that. And I suggest you to pick as many options as available. And so that if one slot is not available, they can definitely move you to another one. So select as many as possible. But only select those which you think you will be available. Else you will be not able to join the stand-up meetings, and if you're not able to join stand-up meetings, then definitely you will be drop out from the fellowship, because stand-up meetings are the essential part of fellowship.
I see. So I'll opt in for 2. Maybe we can opt in for as many as we are comfortable with, but I'll opt in for 2 as of now and move ahead. All right. So before moving ahead, I can see questions. What is the how much experience I should have to get selected, or what is the kind of requirement in English?
So talking about the experience, so this program was initially introduced for students. So like if you talk about if you talk about the experience of a student, they don't have that much experience. Like definitely they do not have like that industry experience. So like you can like if you're going to you can compare the fellowship with a traditional internship. It's not actually an internship program, but you can compare this with an internship. So like if you're a beginner but you have made some good projects, and you know how to write good code that is readable with everyone, and you know how to collaborate on GitHub, that is enough to apply. And coming to the second question about English, so so English is must for the fellowship, and this is the only language that is required for the fellowship, because in the fellowship you will be communicating in English, and you should be able to at least read, write, and speak English. So that's the minimum requirement.
All right. And also one more question. I have no experience. I'm still learning JavaScript. Should I apply or not?
That again depends. Like I'm also learning JavaScript for the last 3 years. So that depends on like how much you know JavaScript. If you think if you have made any one project that has like GitHub best practices, and that has the code for like at least some code that can help someone to get an idea of like how do you write code, and if you can write good code, like readable code, if someone can understand that code, then definitely you can apply. And even if you have not these things, if you're just like extreme beginner, I would still suggest you to apply for that, because it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to apply. So just go and apply for the fellowship.
Perfect. I got your point, like whatever you said, and this is the case for many other students as well. This might be a common question, so I hope this answers your question. Meanwhile, I'm just filling up basic details of my academic experience.
Also, one other thing is that, so like I just mentioned that even if you think you are not eligible, definitely apply. So when I was going to apply, so when it was initially introduced back in 2020, I checked the application. I checked that, okay, so MLH announced something like this, and I found it pretty cool. But then I thought, like, okay, there will be like tons of amazing minds and tons of amazing students. So, like, why should they select me? And with that thought, I closed the tab and start working on what I was doing. So, like, I thought, like, let's forget about that. I'm not going to apply for that. And then, like, after a week, my local Facebook developer circle group, there's someone posted about this because Facebook is partnered. Facebook is sponsored. Right? They
Yeah.
sponsored MLH Fellowship. So they promoted it, and then I thought, okay, so let's apply for that. I mean, it doesn't hurt if I apply.
Yeah.
And fortunately, when I applied, I got into the program. So again, what the point of saying this, letting you know about this, like how I applied and how I got into it. The point is, like, if you think you're not eligible, or if you're not good enough, I would still recommend you to apply for the program. It does not hurt. It will just take your 30 to 40 minutes, nothing more than that. So do consider, and even if you're rejected, they actually give you the reason of why you are rejected. So that's not like some automated email that they send to like every single person that is rejected. They actually give you the reason for which you are rejected. So for example, if your code sample was not good, they're going to give you the reason, like, hey, your code sample was not good. If you have something specific, like not enough, like if you have like 4 or 5 lines of code as a code sample, they're going to let you know that, okay, your code sample is not enough to get an idea of how you code or something like that. So they're going to give you an actual reason. So if you apply and they reject you, then you can check your email, like you can check the rejection reason, and then you can work on that, and then you can apply again.
Awesome. That's a great point, because having known the reason of getting rejected is plus point. We can become better version of ourselves for the next time as well. We can work around those things as well. So definitely. And I've just filled up basic academic details of mine over here in this page, and I'll jump over to the next page now. Okay.
Perfect. And
oops.
So it looks like you missed something.
Yeah, it is HTTP, not HTTPS.
Yeah. So another thing is that make sure I do not recommend you to completing the form in one go. Like do not do this. Like you just visit the MLH Fellowship and you start filling the application form and just like and you submit that application in one go. I suggest you to like complete it a little bit and like think about the answers. So like there will be a few answers, there will be a few questions that is coming up next. So when you reach that point, think about that, take your time and fill that like when you are applying, fill application, save it, and come back to your application after a while and check those questions and check the answers that you filled and think about that again. So like this way you'll be able to maybe like if you check it again, you can come up with something like some other point that you missed, or you can improve it. So like the point is like do not figure it in one go. Think about it and come back to it at a later point, and this will help you to improve your application.
All right, and yes, I can see over here as well. I can save my progress and resume later, or maybe resume another saved form.
Yeah.
So that's a great way. Even personally, not talking about MLH Fellowship, but every other application where I apply to, I try to come better and better every time. I do not try to fill the entire form in a single go. What I do is, first of all, I try to go through the entire question just like the way we are doing right now. I just note every question in a separate Google Doc, and then I start brainstorming how could I make this answer more better, and I take few days, and then I start getting some advices from more experienced people. I can submit the thing to them for proofread or something like that, and maybe after doing all of that thing, if you are confident enough that now you can apply, maybe you can go ahead and just copy paste all your answers from a Google Doc to this particular application, and maybe you can then finally submit it. So this can be a good approach as well. So Arsalan, here it's the question asking me that whether have I code in previous any job or internship. So what type of code they are looking for? Is it like some basic code I've done, or maybe some high level, for example, worked on some product development features or some other areas? So what do you think on that?
it can be anything.
Okay.
If so, it's just to like get an idea of like what who are you. So like in terms of code sample, in terms of code, the only code that will be checked will be the code sample that you submit, and nothing more than that. So if you let them know that I worked at I did an internship, they're not going to ask you for uh, the code that you did in internship. I mean, they might ask you about what exactly you did there in internship just to get an idea, but they are not going to check in what exactly you did. So if whatever you did, if you did internship, no matter how long it was and what work you did, just simply write that yeah you did an internship before.
All right, sounds good. And I can see like when I started, opting for few of the options, I can see more questions coming up with respect to the thing which I've selected. So as I selected the internship, it asked me to give a proper count how many internships I've been to, whether coding was required. Then if I'm searching for a job in next 12 months, there are like more options, like what type of job you are coming up with. So it basically depends on your personal preference. So do you have any points on that, Arslan?
Yeah, so this job search section, that is for a reason, and the reason is
Okay.
that MLH actually helps you to get a job after fellowship. So like they actually connect you with some companies, so that so like if you're looking for a job, definitely fill this section. If for example you're looking for a job in FAR, just select that you're interested in looking for a job with somewhere around September, December, and MLH will consider this and let you know if there is any opportunity available.
All right, got it. And I can see Vincent showing a lot of confidence in me. I'm really happy to know that, but I know myself, I am not going to select. All right, I'll not talk anything negative. Okay, I can consider being selected. All right, let's jump on to the next page now. All right, that's a huge. Which of the following programming language technology are you proficient with? All right, so let me just go ahead with that. And what do you think, Astin? Should I select few or maybe anything I'm aware of, even little?
I would suggest you select those which you have like the minimum like you know that you think you're confident in that language and you can build something even in a
Okay.
smaller on a small level. So if you have worked on Python before, like on a small scale, like if you run Java in your campus in one of semester, you can select that. If you run Python or if you work on any one of project using Python, you can select that. So the reason for this is like, let's say you are interested in Python pod, but like for some reason the Python pod is filled up and there is no other slot. So maybe they can consider you for Java pod. So, but that doesn't mean that you should select every single language that is available that is mentioned
Yeah.
here. Just select those which you are familiar with.
All right, sounds good. And also, I can see one more question in the chat. It is asking, like, with the previous page, we saw they were asking about the internship experience with respect to coding. So, is it compulsory or not? This is the question.
So I'm assuming you're asking internship experience compulsory or not?
Yeah.
So yeah, internship experience is definitely not compulsory. I mean, I had a lot of fellows in my pod who never worked on who never had any internship before. It's just to get an idea of like what who are you and your experience. It's not something compulsory.
All right. Yeah, sounds good. And I can see there are lot many options over here just to understand how much you have worked in the past. What are your experiences, maybe?
Yeah, so this section, like these check boxes, this is to get an idea of like how much you know that specific language. So in your case, you selected Python. So if you fill this section, we will get an idea of like how much do you know Java, how much do you know Python. So
Okay.
that's the point of this section.
Yeah, understood. I have only basic knowledge, so that's why I've selected only those which I have, which I can actually, commit to, and that should always be the mindset. You should not check all of those things which you are not have experienced in the past, or you are just faking it. Do not do that, because eventually they will realize in the next round, right? So definitely go ahead with whatever experience you have. If even if it is less experience than others, just focus on your application. I would suggest that in a very general way. All right, interest. Okay, I can see more options coming up over here. So what is this interest like? Does this helps us like giving out the project or distributing the projects after we got selected?
Yeah, it has some part in that. So make sure that you select those which you have interest in. So like we have different type of projects. We have like Jest, which is a JavaScript testing framework. We also have
Alright.
then something like WebXR, which is a visual reality project. So like we have like different type of projects. So depending on your interest, we actually check your interest, and based on your interest, we assign you to any one of those available projects.
All right, fair enough. So I selected whatever suits to my interest, and let's jump on to the next page. And if in case you have any questions, feel free to ask. I can see one more question from Patmesh. I really love JavaScript and have made projects, but I don't have many open source contribution. What would you recommend? Should I apply to open source track or not?
Definitely apply for that. Like your open source contribution is not something compulsory. I mean, it is a plus point. It is something that will help you, but it's not compulsory. When I was applying, I also had no such good open source contribution that I can mention there, or which I was proud of. But still, I was selected. So that means like it's not something compulsory. You can apply without like open source experience.
Okay, sounds good. And I can see the next thing is code sample requirements. So maybe you can highlight more on that. Meanwhile, I'll just bring up one of my repository where I work with Python.
Sure. Yeah. So in your case, you can just add any of your repository, since this is a dummy. But if you're actually applying for the fellowship, so there are a few things that I can suggest you while picking your project. So first make a list of all the good projects that you have, like that you think that you should consider for the fellowship. A few things that I personally look at are like few things that must be in that project, in that code sample, is make sure it has like good number of commits. If it has like 1 or 2 commits, that's definitely going to be a rejection. In your case, this is 23 commits. That's enough. There is no specific number, like for example, if you have X number of commits, if you're less than X number of commits, you will be rejected. If you're more than X, you'll be selected. I mean, like it also depends on like what is in that commit. I mean, you can do these the code that you wrote. You can like do that in 50 commits as well. That depends on like what you have in each commit. But make sure that each commit is a valid commit. Like you don't add too much in that commit, or you don't add too less in that commit. Like it doesn't make sense if you just add one line of code and then make a commit, and then another line of code and make a commit. So make sure that you have proper commits. Like you fixed a bug, you added a commit. You introduced a new feature, you added a commit. So something like that. So make sure that you have like something like 15, 20, 30, something like that. Those number of commits. Make sure your project has a proper documentation. I mean, these are like these are the open source best practices I'm talking about. So make sure that you have a proper open source documentation. Like let's say, like imagine you're giving this application code sample to be evaluated. So if I'm going to check this, if I visit this and you do not have any documentation at all, how will how do I know like what this project is about? What did you do here? What is it about? So make sure that you add a documentation. Make sure you have a documentation in the project. That's actually the first thing that you should do. And other than that, if it is something, if you if someone else worked on that, like let's say if your teammate, if it was a hackathon project, or if someone else worked on that, collaborated on that, that's also a plus point. But that's not compulsory. Using those GitHub features like pull request, issues, actions, that's also a good thing. If you go beyond, if you want to go beyond, make sure your project has actions and test cases. So like if you have test cases, that's going to be considered like actually an actually good project. Like I don't see a lot of test cases in a lot of projects, but if you have test cases in a project, that's definitely a good project. So like these are the few things, and also make sure that your code is understandable and readable. So like we are going to check your application and your code, and if your code is not readable, if it is not refactored well, or if it is not understandable, that's also a rejection. So make sure your code is understandable, your code is well structured, and so that's a few tips that you should consider while submitting your code sample.
Awesome. These were like great insight. Also, I had one question in my mind. As you can see, I'm submitting this code sample of one of my projects from the past hackathon which I participated in, and I won this hackathon as well at the same time. But the question which comes up in my mind is, do these numbers depends? Does these numbers can affect my application? Like this is the code sample from 2 years ago, right? What do you think? It should be more fresh, like within 1 year, something like that, or can I submit this?
You can submit that having a project that's 2 year old or having a project that's 1 month old. That doesn't matter.
All right.
All that matters is that you are able to code well, and you are able to you have a good project, a good sample, and that is understandable and readable.
All right, sounds good. And I'm just adding the brief description. Maybe you can write whatever the thing is. Maybe there are already word limit given over here, 200 words remaining or something like that, and accordingly you can think around, frame your answer. As I said, you can copy paste this answer in some other doc, try to frame a better answer every day, try to brainstorm on what are the things, what are the keywords which you can use, try to add real value which your project has added, and other things as well. So as you can see, briefly describe what this code sample does. So this is the functionality or application of the code sample, and briefly describe what you learned when you created this code sample. It can vary person to person. Maybe you can add what were the challenges you have faced, how did you overcome that, what were the things you learned, and other things maybe, right? Arsalan, what do you think?
Yeah, exactly. So when you're these are the questions, like briefly describe what does this code sample do. So make sure that you actually briefly describe what does this code sample do. And this is the point where we can gauge how much effort you put into our application. So like if you submit your application with like 1 or 2 lines of answers, then we are definitely that means that you are lazy, that you're too lazy to write a proper answers. So make sure you avoid that and come up with a good and detailed answers to these questions.
Yes, definitely. I have only used 13 words. I'm still remaining with 187 words. So try to use the entire limit and try to come up with a very good and complete answer with every detail which you are thinking up in your mind, and try to use the 200 words limit. Alright, let's go to the next page. Alright, why do you want to become an MLH Fellow? This is a great question, right? In almost each type of application, this is something which is commonly asked.
And also, so this essay questions, these are the most important questions. I repeat that these are the most important questions in your application that can decide your next 3 months. So make sure that you fill these 3 questions, or especially these 2 questions, with as much details as possible, and just write your answers. Come back to your answer, check it again, think about it again, and make sure that you have a detailed answer in your application. If you just apply with like 5 to 6 lines, that's not going to help you. That will be a rejection for you. So again, I emphasize on this a lot. This is the most important part of your application.
Definitely. I'm just, adding few points which I'm coming up with right now in this very moment. But as I said earlier, make sure you are using all these words which are remaining, making it as detailed as possible, letting others know what your mindset is and why you really want to, be an MLH fellow.
Also, while you filling this answer, so there is another thing I want to talk about. So, this question, why do you want to become an MLH fellow? So this is a very subjective question, and it depends on, like, if you're applying, you know better than me, like, why you are applying. I know about myself, I don't know about yourself. And I have seen a lot of people on LinkedIn that is messaging me, and it's not me, but it's like a lot of other formal a lot of other fellows as well, and they keep asking, like, hey, can you help me to write this answer, like, why do you want to become an MLH fellow? Can you write an answer for me, or can you share yours? uh, I mean, like, what's the point of that? It's up to you. It's about you. It's not about me, or it's not about
Definitely.
anyone else. It's about you. Why you want to join the fellowship? So, like, there is a reason for you why you want to join. My reason is not going to help you. My reason is not anyone else's reason is not going to help you. So think about why you want to join the fellowship, and if you do not have an answer for this yet, I would suggest you fill your application, fill the rest of the things, come back to this section later, and if you come up with like 5 to 6 lines, still that's not enough. Think about it again, come back to it again, go on a walk, and then come back to it after an hour or two. But make sure that you have a detailed answer, and it's like a pitch. So you are basically pitching them that, hey, I am good enough to be in the MLH Fellowship. So make sure that you pitch well to them, and make sure that you have a detailed answer here.
Absolutely, that's a great point as well. And next question is like, what perspective or experience will you bring to the MLH Fellowship to strengthen our community? This is also one of the question, because after, you're not just going to work alone. You are going to work in a team. You are going to work in projects. Maybe as you, Arsalan, you have been an MLH Fellow. Now you are leading the team. So this matters, right?
So the thing is, like, you can get an idea from this question, and that is, like, you're not just going to learn something from MLH, you are also going to give something to them in return. So, like, there are like different sessions that we host in our pods, and these are called show and tells. So in the show and tells, every week, every fellow, like every other fellow, host a session on his or her favorite topic. Like, for example, if I am into JavaScript and I know about like JavaScript testing framework, so I can give a session on testing framework. So if someone is into let's say machine learning, he or she can talk about that. So it's up to them what topic they want. But so, like, you also have a contribution to the MLH Fellowship, not just to that open source project or that company. You also have a contribution within the fellowship. So you will be also hosting these sessions and these different things. So that's the thing. So make sure that you also fill this part as well. Like, these two questions: what do you want? Why do you want to become an MLH Fellow? And then the second one, these are the most important two questions, and you should focus on this, on these two actually.
Definitely, and this can like change your entire application in many other ways. So feel free to not feel free to compulsorily focus on these questions. And the last one is that anything else which you would like to add, because there are word limits upside. So maybe after completing 231 words, after completing these 239 words, if you're still coming up with anything else which you would like to share with the MLH team, go ahead and answer those things into this section.
Yeah, and a good example of anything else would be like, if you have attended a lot of MLH hackathons, you can add that in that section, or something like that, which can help them to gain your which can help you to gain their trust. So something like that. If you have like attended a lot of hackathons or something exciting you can add that there.
All right. Now comes the question of stipend. What do you think on this? Like, is it compulsory to request, or maybe it's, even if we select no, and we can get after we get accepted, or what is it like?
So if you select no, you're definitely not going to get any stipend. If you select unsure, yes, you might get a stipend, but that's also not like you're not like
Hmm.
it's not like every person is going to get stipend. It depends
Correct.
on like when if you go with yes, there are a few questions that they will ask, and I guess they send you a form after you're selected. So
Okay.
uh, there will be different questions that can help them to get an idea of like what's your living standard,
Hmm.
etc. So based on that, they will give you a budget. Like for example, if you're in India, you can get a stipend. You can it is possible that you get no stipend even if
Hmm.
you selected yes. It is also possible that you get like something like 300 USD, and it's
Hmm.
also possible that you get something like 700 USD. So
Hmm.
that depends, and it's not something compulsory. It's not always going to be yes. That depends on these factors like your living standard, and then so they give you an application to
Hmm.
submit, and then that also depends on the MLH budget. So yeah, there are like various factors for that.
All right, sounds good. All right, then there are like basic questions like asking for your demographics and how did you hear about the MLH Fellowship. And let me know, Aslan, before this is going to be submitted. Okay, I can see the end coming in near. I'm not going to submit this for
Yeah,
sure.
I guess this is the last part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's the application fee.
Hmm.
So the first and foremost thing is this is not compulsory. This
Okay.
and another thing is if you do not submit your application fee,
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to affect your application at all. It's not something like, okay, so this guy did not submit any application fee, we are going to reject him. It's not like that. This part is just to support MLH Fellowship.
Hmm.
Nothing more than that.
Okay.
So it's not compulsory. If you want, you can go ahead and submit the application fee. If you don't have, if you feel like you're not able to submit the fee, you can skip this part. So it's optional, and it is just to support MLH community. Nothing more than that.
All right. Okay. So what does this review answer stand for? Will this submit my application, or can I review all my answers?
No, it's not going to submit your application. You'll be able to like review your answers.
All right. But still, are there any questions after this button?
Nope, I don't think there is any other.
Alright, because I do not want to get in a loop and get scolded from Will. I'm not going to keep myself in that position. Alright, then I guess that was all about the application. But
You
I'm
can you
still.
can you can
Mhm.
tap on review answers. There is then other step that will submit the application. So if you tap on review answers, that's not going to submit your application. So you can select that, tap on that.
Alright, I'm believing you, Aslan. Going ahead. Verification expired. Awesome. Oh, what is it? Don't tell me. Okay, I can review me. Okay. I thought I need to,
Ah,
refill the application. Okay, so I can see all of my answers over here right away. And what if I need to change them? Do I have an option to change that?
I guess you have, if you scroll down at the bottom.
Sure, let me check. This is cool. I can review my answer. That's awesome. Make a correction. Print this page. Nice.
Yeah, and also, so when you do that, when you click on save my progress and resume later,
Mm-hmm.
you get an email of your application. So there is a unique
All right.
link for your application that you get in your email.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do that, you will get an email, and you will be able to resume your application after that. So like if you check the path of this website, so there is a unique code, a unique path
Yeah.
there, like a unique ID. So like every application has a unique ID, and if you submit your application, you will if you save your application, you will they will email you this unique ID
Okay.
and that whole part to the email address, and then you can resume later.
All right, that sounds perfect. And definitely for all the people who are thinking, I'm gonna confirm, I'm gonna click on this confirm button, please, you need to take some rest, because I'm not going to do that for sure. The confirm button is tempting, so that not at all. I'm just going to skip and get onto the another tab now. I'm not going to
What
apply.
if you what if you just get 500 subscribers? Will you do that?
No, I'm not, getting tempted by any of those things, because I know myself. I'm not going to go in such a loop right now. I'll definitely, I'm planning to apply for the same, but before that, I need to work around my skills and many other things as well, which I have up in my mind. And as Arsalan also said while we were filling up the application, that it's not just, you are doing this just for your sake or anything else as well. If you are serious, if you have that proper mindset, just go and apply for the same as well. If you think you can do it, and even if you are, having the thing in yourself that no, you want to do this thing, you want to contribute and any other stuff as well, just go ahead. That's the entire case, because just wasting your time and others as well would take you anywhere. So having a proper mindset, going ahead with the mere determination, that will really help you as well as the MLH Fellowship team at the same time as well. So yeah, that was all. I'm not sure if we are missing anything. If you have any questions, feel free to drop those questions into the live chat. I know Aslan need to rush somewhere at 11:30 p.m. IST, so we'll try to wrap up this stream before that. But we still have around 20 minutes. So if in case you have any questions, feel free to ask, and yeah, we'll be happy to answer them as well.
Yeah, I guess we are good with time, so we can take some questions.
All right.
If
Any
anyone
other
has
any other general tips or suggestion you might have for the people who are still, for example, me myself, I'm not going to apply for maybe next 2 batches, but maybe I can work around some skills. So what are your suggestions for me, like, or anyone like me who are just starting or maybe want to skill up somewhere and then apply? So what would be a correct approach or path?
So let's say you suddenly decide that okay, I'm going to apply, but then you visit your GitHub and you do not find any good project. So in that case, what you can do is that, so in case like if someone don't know this, MLH actually hosts a hackathon every single week, and you can join any of them. So if you do not have any good project on your GitHub, you can just like you can join any of these hackathon and be a part of that and build something. And it's not compulsory that it should be something that you do on your own. You can take help of your fellows, and you can ask a friend that, hey, let's contribute to this hackathon. It's not and it's also not compulsory that it should be MLH hackathon. It can also be your local campus hackathon or any hackathon. So the point is that a hackathon actually, within the hackathon you can do pretty much more. Like you can actually build a project. So you can be a part of any hackathon, and then in that hackathon you can build something, and then you can apply after that hackathon. So that's the case when you do not have any project in your GitHub. Like if you think that you have projects, but you think that they are not good enough. So in that case, you can use this approach.
Yeah, fair enough. Totally, understand your point, and that's a valid point as well at the same time. So definitely we'll consider this, and maybe for everyone watching, if you have the similar question which I had, you can follow the same thing as well. And I can see one more question from Mukul. What kind of project fellows work on in Explorer track?
So Explorer track is more of a beginner track where they where you will be working on different hackathons with the 2 or 3 of your fellows. So in each hackathon is different from previous one or the next one, and there is a specific a theme for each hackathon. Like let's say the first hackathon theme is web development. So maybe CLI application. So you have to build something that has to do with the CLI application. So maybe you can actually build a CLI application. let's say you have another team which is game development, so you have to make a game actually in that. If it is something like cybersecurity, a developer too, so you have to make something that helps developers. So like we have these different teams, and based on
Mm-hmm.
team you have to build your project based on that team. So
Got it.
that's the thing. In the that's like, so it's up to you whatever project you want to come up with, but you have to make sure that the project has that a project actually falls into that category or that team.
Yeah, fair enough. And I've just shared the link as well for the Explorer track. I'm not sure whether this is the same or not, but and also please let me know what are the count of my subscribers as of now. I still remember it was around 462 when we started this live stream, and maybe we can DevOps track not available in India. What do you think on that?
Uh, okay, so this DevOps track is just announced recently. And it's just available in US, I guess.
Okay,
Yeah, so it's sponsored by Facebook, and right now they're just looking for US applicants.
I see. No worries, that's fine. And any other questions from the live chat? Feel free to drop those questions down, and we'll have straight away, answer those questions. And in case you're still watching, give this video a thumbs up if you haven't yet. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let's target reaching out to 500 subscribers by this month end, and I hope we could do that as well, because I've seen when April started we were at around 300 subscribers, and now we have already reached like more than 150. So that's a good count. Let's keep the graph going up.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
beat you one day in terms of subscribers.
Sure thing. I like that type of competition. And I can't see any more questions coming. Feel free to ask if you have still any other questions. And also, you can let us know what our next live stream could be on, whatever topic you think you are looking for. Please let us know that as well. We can come up with that. And this Saturday, as you all already know, every Saturday I come up with Hack It with Sid series where I invite some guests. So I have already invited one of the guests. I'm soon going to announce. I'm going to update the schedule. I'll schedule the stream soon, so I hope that you find that stream useful. Let's hope for the best. And I do not see any more questions as of now. Arsalan, are you able to see?
Nope. There's one other thing I want to mention.
Mhm.
So also if you're interested in JavaScript especially, and you want to get into the fellowship, or you want to have more hands-on projects, so I actually stream on GitHub Education channel every
Oh yes.
Saturday at 11:30 p.m. IST. So if you just log into GitHub Education Twitch channel, I actually did my first stream this Saturday, so you can, that is available there, so you can check that too. It's a series, and its name is Open Source with Khattak Dev. So you can join me this Saturday as well. We will be building something awesome this week, and not just this week, but every single week. So you can join me there, and we can build something awesome. And maybe then you can getting an idea from that, you can build something of your own and then submit that to MLH Fellowship.
Yes, I have added the link to the Twitch channel of GitHub Education in the chat. Feel free to head over to that every Saturday and hear some great content from our very own Khattak Dev. And I've also mentioned the website of Arsalan into the description. Do visit, follow him on GitHub, Twitter, connect with him on LinkedIn, anywhere, and just follow him. He's doing awesome. What else? I can see one more question from Swamideep. He's asking, tell us about the new track called DevOps and what are the requirements for that?
So this track is I'm also like, I'm not exactly sure, but I'm most probably this is true, that it is just for US applicants only. So
All right.
yeah, you need to be you need to be a US resident, someone who lives at US,
Okay.
because this is a Facebook sponsored track, and you will be working with them, with the Facebook people, and you need to be someone who lives at US. So and it's also pretty new. So I also do not have like a lot of things to say about this, but yeah. So like that one requirement is that you need to be in US.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, and also for any other general FAQs, you can visit this section as well. They are like answered. These questions are like answered in a very detailed way, right from your eligibility, what this program is all about, and what are the things you need to know, the kind of projects, and any other thing as well, right? So there are like brief answers given over here in a good way. So go ahead and just check that out as well. There are multiple FAQs, application and admission, and any other general way as well. So definitely go check that out as well. All right. Why Explorer track is not there in the form? It was there 1 to 2 days before, I think.
So not sure about this, but if that is not here, that means that they are going to replace that with something, and I guess they actually replace this with production engineering. I have to check this with MLH team. I'm also not sure about this.
Yeah, no worries at all. And maybe we can have more updates as well with time, because it's like already just 1 day, 1 or maximum 2 days. It's been announced, and we will come up with more updates. MLH is definitely going to announce everything on the social media. They're going to update everything on the website as well, so we can expect more updates coming up super soon. So definitely keep an eye on every social media of MLH, so you can do that. And Discord is always a place where you can get all the updates from MLH.
Yep.
All right. I can't see any more questions as of now. Maybe this is a good time to end this. No learners track. Maybe we can get more updates on the same. Maybe open source is for learners track. Is it, Arsalan?
So I am not sure about like what exactly do you mean by learners. If I'm exactly not sure what exactly do you mean about like learners. But if you're a beginner and at least like if you're into open source, you want to contribute into open source and have at least one, like you're good with at least one language, you should go for open source track.
Yep, definitely. So MLH applications are open. Yes, it's always open. You can select the batches you are looking for and apply for the same. Yes, it's open. All right. And still we have like few more minutes before we end this live. So if you have still any question, feel free to drop those questions into the comment after this live ends, and maybe me or Arsalan can have a look onto that and maybe answer you that as well. And as of now, thanks a lot for joining in. I hope this stream was helpful to you in some or the other way, and you were able to get the answers to all of your questions which you were wondering before this live stream. And I hope this live stream added value. If yes, give this video a thumbs up and feel free to share my channel with your friends and community members. And don't forget to join Arsalan every Saturday on GitHub Education stream. What's the exact time, Arsalan?
It's 11:30 p.m. IST.
All right, 11:30 p.m. IST. So best time I would say for me to hop onto such streams, because I am just relaxing at that moment of time. No work, no college assignments, nothing. It's night time. 11:30 best time to hop on and get some knowledge out there. So 11:30 p.m. IST every Saturday. Join Arsalan Khattak Day on GitHub Education stream. And that was all from me. Feel free to connect with him. Everything is like every links are there in the description. One more thing, I'm soon going to come up with my very own Discord server where we all could interact with like-minded people with respect to hackathons, communities, and many more other stuffs. It's still under plan, but you'll hear from me very soon. Other than that, stay tuned for the Saturday podcast series, which is #HackItWithSid, and I'll soon going to announce that stream as well. And let me just bring other screens. All right. Anything else which you would like to add, Arsalan?
I just want to say there's a lot of exciting things coming up from you. Just one last thing is that in case if anyone doesn't know this, so I also have a YouTube channel. which doesn't have that much content because it's recently I started working on this.
Mm-hmm.
And due to the workload, I'm not able to be that much consistent, just like Sid, who does like stream every single week. But I do I do make videos on web-based technology. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
interested into web-based, especially JavaScript, so you can check my channel as well. Now again, not much content, but hopefully we will have some good content with time.
Definitely, Arslan will definitely come up with more good content because he already have lots of content prepared with him, and he have right knowledge, right mindset, and experience as well. So everyone in the chat, write Arslan, we want more content, and he'll definitely come up with more every week. And we are waiting for you to come up with more videos on different stuff so that we can gain our knowledge by learning from your experience as well. And yeah, that was pretty much about the same. I'll add the Arslan's YouTube channel link in the description as well after this live stream ends, so that you can reach out to him and subscribe to his channel as well. And that was all. Take care, everyone. Everyone knows this is a tough time for all of us. Follow social distancing, stay at your home, take care of your loved ones, and just spread positivity and help others as much as you can. This is the only thing which we can do. Awareness is everywhere. You all know what we are going through, what are the things which we need to do, and every other thing as well. So just follow what really needs to be done, help others, encourage others, just spread positivity, and take care of your loved one. That was all about from today's live stream. I hope that helps, and without wasting much of your time, I'll quickly bring the behind the scenes scene once again so that you can see my cool setup which I've just prepared for this live stream. Let me just bring that up once. And as you can see over here, here's my showcase where you can find different books which I hardly read as of now because I do not get that much time. And these are some free swags which I have earned out of some events. Even you can earn, but these are just materialistic things. Focus on adding value, you'll definitely get what you deserve, right? So that was pretty much all about it. This is the setup where I'm streaming right now. And yeah, let me bring the final slide, which is thanks for watching, and then maybe we can end this live stream. Take care, everyone. Bye bye. Bye bye.